surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine. Recent surveys finding Black Americans expressing higher rates of concern about getting vaccinated. The NAACP hosted a virtual town hall last night, hoping to overcome those fears, featuring the African-American doctor at the center of one of the biggest vaccine breakthroughs. TJ Holmes is here with more this morning. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning. And the community most impacted by COVID, least likely to take the vaccine. And to understand that, you have to go back to one of the ugliest chapters in medicine in this country, where the government deceived and then allowed Black men to suffer and even die from a disease. So now there's a desperate effort underway to get the African-American community to trust the science. And the response is oftentimes, yeah, but we remember the history. A new push this morning to help African Americans in particular understand the coronavirus vaccine, seen as the key to stabilizing the pandemic.
These stages of these clinical trials and the outcomes of these clinical trials and what the FDA requires to move to the next step has been driven by science and nothing else.
The NAACP assembled health experts for a virtual town hall that included Dr. Kesmikia Corbett, a researcher at the National Institute of Health and a lead scientist in the development of Moderna's coronavirus vaccine. Dr. Corbett imploring people to trust the science.
Just because it has been rapid does not mean that there has been any level of irresponsibility in regards to this development. If you know a healthcare worker or someone on the front line who is getting the vaccine, to ask those honest questions.
With 35% of Black Americans saying they wouldn't get it even if it was deemed safe by scientists, and 71% choosing to wait and see how it works for others, Black doctors are at the forefront of this renewed push to build trust and ensure safety, some opting to take the vaccine with the world watching.
On a certain level, Black Americans have been traumatized. So even if you are presenting some people with, this is the data, we're showing that it's safe and effective, that's not enough.
The skepticism attributed to a history of medical racism in this country, the Tuskegee experiment, where for 40 years the government allowed hundreds of poor Black men with syphilis to go untreated so scientists could study the effects. Some died, went blind, insane, and developed other serious complications and even passed the disease to their families. This resulted in a presidential apology.
The American people are sorry for the loss, for the years of hurt.
There was also Henrietta Lacks, a mother of 5 who in 1951 sought treatment for a tumor. She passed away later that year. Scientists, without her consent or her family's knowledge, harvested her cells for medical research. Cells so rare they led to medical breakthroughs, including the creation of a polio vaccine. Black communities among the hardest hit by this pandemic, and in order to slow the spread of this virus and build trust, doctors say these conversations must continue.
It is at no fault of yours that you do not trust a system that has done you and your ancestors wrong for hundreds of years. I would consider to be the onus of us on the side of the science and the vaccine developers to earn the trust back.
And let me say the name of Ernest Hendon. In 2004, he was the last survivor of that Tuskegee study, died in 2004 at the age of 97. And guys, to this day, some of the children of those Tuskegee participants